What is up, blockchain gang? Just wanted to give you an important update on the direction I think Wemix is taking in the near future due to a couple of things I've noticed on their press release page. First thing I just want to say in advance is that in the last 2 months, they've been releasing a partnership on average of every other day throughout January and December. But this month of February in 2022, they've only announced 2 partnerships. One was a pre-existing partnership and an announcement that they're onboarding Icarus Online, and the other NHN Bigfoot's Project Wemix Sports. And you can see there's other announcements in February, but no other partnerships. So it almost makes me believe that they're kind of slowing down after that first onslaught of about 40 different partnerships that I covered in another video. I'll add a card in the corner there if you'd like to check that video out after this. But something else that really piqued my interest was the fourth quarter earning results for 2021. First thing here, it says they earned about 561 billion won in 2021. But in the fourth quarter alone, the last 3 months, they earned 325.4 billion won. So that's like 60% of all the money they made in 2021 was made in the last 25% of the year, which coincides with the release of Mir 4. In addition to this amazing success, they go on to talk about a couple of things that they're going to do to try to give back to the community. And the one that's the biggest here that I think some people might have glossed over, it says, as a reward for the growth and development of the Wemix ecosystem, we plan to burn 1% of the total issuance for every $10 increase until the price of Wemix reaches $200. Currently, it's under $6, like 5 and some change. So you're talking about nearly 40 times return on your investment if you bought in at, say, $5 and it did reach this 200 number. They don't say when, of course, it will reach that, but it seems like that's their goal, is to hit $200. In other words, cumulatively, 20% of the total issued volume is incinerated or burned. Considering that the price of Wemix was the highest at $24 so far, we plan to burn 2% of the total issuance volume in the near future. Now keep in mind, this does suffer from translation, since this is originally in Korean and I had to go through Google Translator so that I'd be able to read it. I just want to point out that I don't know if this is 1% of all Wemix that's in circulation, but it sounds more to me like it's going to be 1% of the total Wemix. And the maximum amount of Wemix we know is 1 billion. So if they burn 1% of 1 billion, that's going to be 10 million Wemix every time they do the burn. And they're going to do that 20 times, which would mean that they're going to burn 200 million Wemix. I don't know how up to date these numbers are, but this currently says there's about 12.3% of the current Wemix in circulation compared to the fully diluted supply of 1 billion. And if you don't know how Wemix is minted, you can always check the white paper where it says here that 60 Wemix tokens per minute are minted and distributed to the following accounts. So that's about 1 token per second. 50% go to the governance partner, and this is basically where the staking rewards come from. 25% go to the eco fund, and 25% are for maintenance. So I would assume that this is coming out of the eco fund, but again, I'm not quite positive because they don't talk about that. So back to this phrasing here on the total issued volume. I mean, to me that sounds like they're going to burn 200 million, and first they're going to start off with burning 20 million, and as that helps increase the price, every time it goes up another $10, they're going to burn another 1% in order to help stimulate it and get it to that $200. What you think about the burn, let me know in the comments. I think it's going to be huge for all the titles that are coming out on the Wemix platform. The other announcement that I think that's pretty important and why I brought up the lack of partnerships announced this month is that they're basically participating in the GDC as expected, but they're going to be doing so with a diamond sponsorship, which is basically what the largest game development companies come in with the big guns, throw around the big money, and they get the biggest booths in order to show off all of the projects and all of the irons that they have in the fire. They already talked about first onboarding many Korean developers, which it seems like they've done with this first batch of partnerships, but I'm wondering if they're waiting to announce any more partnerships until they go to GDC in March, at which time they're going to meet up with a lot of Western development companies, probably talking partnerships. And I believe it will be in a near future, maybe in April, when we perhaps get another slew of games and partnerships that are to be announced that came from this developers conference. Anyway, that's the three things I really wanted to talk about. The Icarus being added on. Remember, they already partnered with Beloff for N-Age and Black Squad. Icarus Online is an MMO that's pretty generic. It didn't really stand out to me when I played it years ago, but the big thing that I did enjoy from it was the mounted aerial combat, which was pretty unique considering what was available to play at the time. That's all I have for you today in this video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Hope we can do this again sometime.
I believe in miracles since you came along, you sexy thing.